The first sign that something was wrong wasn't fear. It was coincidence. At least, that's what we all told ourselves. It started in a small marketing firm, nothing special, tucked between a bakery and a closed-down travel agency. 12 of us, one open floor plan, and glass walls that made privacy feel like a suggestion. We used to joke about it, how you could never really feel alone there. For the first few months, it was completely normal. Emails, deadlines, and truly terrible coffee. Then, the comments began. It was subtle. Someone would mention a conversation they had at home, and the next day, a coworker would casually reference it. Someone else would complain about a problem they'd never told anyone, and suddenly, an ad for a solution would pop up on their screen. We laughed it off. Algorithms, data tracking, our phones are always listening, right? Everyone jokes about it. But this didn't stop. One afternoon, Jenna from accounting came back from lunch looking pale and shaken. She said a stranger on the street had asked if she was feeling better after the panic episode last night. Jenna hadn't told anyone about that, not even her boyfriend. We told her someone was probably messing with her. That same week, Ryan swore his smart TV turned on by itself at night, always paused mid-frame. He said it felt like someone had been watching and stopped the second he noticed. Again, we joked. Faulty updates, electrical issues. None of us wanted to say what we were really thinking. Shortly after, the company installed new security cameras. Management said it was for break-ins nearby. 3 new cameras, one at the entrance, one in the back hallway, and one facing the entire office floor. They told us the footage was only reviewed if something happened. That was the lie. The cameras went up on a Monday. By Friday, the whole atmosphere had changed. People became restrained. Conversations were shorter. Laughter didn't last. You'd catch someone glancing up at those black domes on the ceiling, then quickly looking away, as if making eye contact with them meant something. I noticed it most in the reflections. The glass walls, my computer screen, the chrome surface of the coffee machine. Sometimes, in those reflections, the camera's angle seemed wrong, pointed slightly differently than it should have been. I told myself reflections distort things, until one night, I stayed late. It was just me and the hum of the lights. The building always felt different after dark, emptier. Like the walls themselves were listening. I packed my bag, turned off my computer, and then froze. My monitor flickered back on. Not fully, just enough to show the desktop background. On it was a still image of the office. From above. From a perspective no camera in that room should have had. I stepped back, my heart pounding. The image didn't change. It was just the office, empty except for my desk. I shut the monitor off and left without looking back. The next morning, 3 people called in sick. Jenna never came back at all. Management said she'd resigned suddenly. Ryan stopped making jokes. He barely spoke, and when he did, he sounded like he hadn't slept in weeks. Then the internal emails started. People were receiving drafts of emails they hadn't written, notes referencing thoughts they'd never spoken aloud. One message was just a list of timestamps from different security cameras, each one corresponding to a moment when someone had been alone. We finally confronted management. They denied everything. They said paranoia spreads easily in close environments, and HR suggested we take stress leave. That afternoon, the back hallway camera was moved, angled directly at the break room. The next day, Someone taped paper over it. By lunch, the paper was gone. By the end of the day, the camera had rotated on its own, its lens tilted down, like it was searching for something. That's when I realized the cameras weren't just watching the room. They were watching our reactions. Who noticed? Who avoided eye contact? Who stayed late? Who checked the reflections? The people who didn't notice anything were fine. The ones who joked about it eventually stopped joking. But the people who noticed too much, they just disappeared quietly, one by one. Ryan was next. His desk was cleared overnight. No farewell email. His access badge stopped working before he even knew he was gone. That night, I got a notification on my phone. Not from work. From my own laptop camera. It said camera active. I hadn't turned it on. I covered it with my hand, and the light went off immediately. Too immediately, as if it had been waiting for me to react. I unplugged everything. My phone, my laptop, my router. I just sat in the dark, listening to my own breathing. That's when I finally understood. The cameras weren't the watchers. They were training tools, teaching something how humans behave when they think they're being observed. The real watching started when the cameras were gone. I quit the next day and moved cities a month. Later, new job, new apartment. No smart devices. It worked for the most part. But sometimes, when I'm alone and my mind wanders, I feel it. That subtle tightening in the air, that sense of being watched. And I know that somewhere, someone is still in that office, laughing it off, telling themselves it's just a coincidence. They don't know it yet, but they're being watched. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to subscribe.